Bigfoot War of 1855. Tonight at the Mysteries from the Orb we dive into the special horror legend. Some stories live only in the firelight, spoken softly when the night is deep and the forest presses in close. Stories that aren't written down because they are too bloody, too strange, and too terrifying to accept as real. But the Choctaw people remember. They remember the winter of 1855, the monsters that descended from the Kayamishi Mountains, and the young captain of mixed descent, Joshua LaFleur, half Choctaw, half French, whose bravery turned a massacre into a victory. This is not the softened, tourist-friendly version. This is the version whispered by the old ones. Turn your lights down. Steal your breath. Because this is the real Bigfoot War of 1855. It all began quietly at first. Horses missing. Livestock gone. Tracks, massive tracks, found by the riverbank, each imprint sunk deep into frozen mud, as if something weighing half a ton had walked there. A midwinter silence that felt wrong. Even the crew stayed away. Families whispered of something big moving in the night. The elders spoke of the Hatak Ishtobi, the eating men. Ancient stories of hair-covered giants living deep in the mountains. And then the killings began. A hunting party vanished, 5 men. When a search team went out, they found only blood and pieces of clothing frozen into the snow. No bodies. No bones. Only the trees around them clawed to splinters, as if something had dragged the men upward into the deep forest. Panic spread like wildfire through the settlement. And that's when Joshua LaFleur stepped forward. Joshua was young, barely in his 20s, but already known among his people. Strong, calm, stubborn. A bridge between two worlds, French trapper blood on his father's side, Choctaw warrior blood on his mother's side. He believed in the old stories, but he also believed monsters could bleed. He gathered a group of 12 warriors, armed with muskets, hatchets, long knives, and the kind of courage that only rises when a community has no other hope left. The warriors joked that Joshua didn't fear anything. But fear was exactly what was waiting for them in the woods. They tracked the creatures deep into the mountains, following broken branches, strange tufts of long black hair caught on bark, and a smell that they described as wet fur, earth mixed with rot and old blood. The first night, the men camped in a clearing. They barely slept. Something circled them. Heavy footsteps, slow breathing, the crunch of ice under massive weight. But nothing ever entered the firelight. The next morning, just before dawn, it struck. A scream split the cold air and one of the men disappeared into the tree, snatched by something impossibly fast. Musket shots rang out, the forest lit up with muzzle flashes, but the creature was already gone. When they found the man's body, it was torn in half. Joshua's face went pale. He knew now that this wasn't just one creature. There were 3. 3 killers. 3 shadows in the trees. 3 giant forms that watched them from deep in the forest. The war had begun. By the second afternoon of the hunt, the men noticed something strange in the snow. A trail of deep tracks weaving between the pines, larger and wider than any bear could make, and following it, a smell that made even the most hardened warriors wrinkle their noses. A sickly, heavy stench. Rot. Old blood. Wet fur. Decay so thick it hung in the air like fog. Joshua signaled the men forward. The tracks led up a rocky slope and into a split between 2 giant stones, a narrow entryway into what looked like a shallow cave. Snow draped the entrance like curtains. Inside, darkness and silence. But the smell was unbearable. The men lit torches. And that's when they saw it. The den. A nightmare carved into the earth. The floor was scattered with bones, hundreds of them. Some sun-bleached, many cracked open, others still red and wet. Rib cages. Jaws. Femurs snapped like twigs. Shreds of clothing frozen into the mud. A child's shoe. A man's belt. A woman's braid still tangled with scalp. The warriors fell silent. Even the bravest of them felt their stomach twist. Joshua knelt, lifting part of a broken musket stock. He recognized the carving in the wood, belonging to one of the hunters who had disappeared weeks earlier. Joshua tightened his grip on his rifle. That's when a sound echoed from deeper in the cave. A slow, wet breath. And then another. 3 shapes moved in the darkness. Massive, towering, swaying slowly, as if waking from sleep. The creatures had been inside the whole time. Waiting. Watching. Listening. And now, they came forward. The first creature burst out of the shadows with a roar that shook dust from the cave ceiling. The warriors stumbled back, firing wildly, their torches trembling. Joshua shouted for them to spread out, wide. Wide. But the second creature slammed into the left flank, sending 2 men flying. The third crouched at the cave mouth, blocking escape. 3 monsters. Each nearly 3 meters tall. Each emitting the same horrific stench as the den. Their eyes burned amber yellow. Their teeth were yellow. Their fur matted with old blood. This wasn't an ambush. This was a slaughterhouse. The warriors realized instantly. The creatures hadn't been hunted. The creatures had lured them in. The fight spilled from the cave into the snow. Gunshots echoed across the valley. Screams mixed with roars. The creatures moved with terrifying intelligence, coordinating, circling, isolating the weakest. But Joshua yelled orders like a commander born from fire. He pushed the warriors into formation, forced them to hold their ground. He reloaded faster than anyone, firing shot after shot into the creature's chest, driving them back inch by inch. The battle felt endless. And then, the creature locked eyes with him. It charged straight for Joshua. And the moment would define the legend forever. Joshua fired his musket straight into its chest. The others unleashed a storm of bullets and arrows. The monster fell, sliding across the ice, roaring until Joshua himself drove a long knife into its throat. The warriors cheered. But the victory lasted seconds. The second creature hit them like a storm. It tore 2 men apart before they could reload. Blood sprayed across the snow as men screamed and swung hatchets. Joshua leaped onto its back, stabbing again and again. The creature slammed him into the ground, hard enough to crack bone. But Joshua didn't let go. The warriors finished it with spears, arrows, and a final musket blast under its jaw. 2 down. 1 left. The third creature was the largest. The smartest. It didn't attack immediately. It waited until Joshua tried to rally the wounded, panicking men. Then it came. It moved so fast that even the elders later said it looked like a shadow leaping from the darkness. Joshua shoved one of the younger warriors aside, saving his life. The creature grabbed Joshua around the waist. Its claws sank deep into him. It lifted him effortlessly from the ground. Joshua's men fired desperately, but the creature didn't flinch. With a horrifying roar, It grabbed Joshua's head and tore it off his shoulders with a single brutal motion. Silence. Then a rage unlike any the settlement had ever known exploded among the warriors. They charged the creature, screaming Joshua's name, their grief turning into wildfire. Musket blasts tore into its chest. Hatchets split its legs. Arrows punched into its eyes. The creature howled, staggered, and finally fell. The warriors stood around it, breathing steam into the frozen night. They lifted Joshua's body and the bodies of other fallen warriors, laid them to rest with honors, and then turned back to the creatures. They built a massive pyre using pine, pitch, and dry cedar. The bodies of the three creatures, giants, brutal, lifeless, were dragged onto the flames. The fire burned all night. Thick, black smoke spiraled into the sky, carrying with it the final traces of the monsters that had terrorized their land. When dawn finally broke, only ash remained. The creatures were gone. Joshua was gone. But the people were safe. And the forest was quiet once more. The Bigfoot War of 1855 was over. But the curse was carved into the heart of every warrior who survived. And into the legend of Joshua LaFleur, the young man who gave his life so others could stand and fight. The Bigfoot War of 1855 lasted only a few days. But it forged a story that survived generations. The Choctaw remember. The mountains remember. And somewhere, deep in the forest of Oklahoma, the ashes of three ancient beasts still sleep beneath the soil. Thanks for watching Mysteries from the Orb. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this story with someone who loves exploring the darker corners of the unknown.